Hi, this is Catherine. This is Taking Tea with Catherine. This is Kensington Breakfast Blend from Upton Tea because I always like a good breakfast blend. It's wonderful to me, but also because it's called Kensington, I thought that would be fitting because I do intend in the next couple of months to be reading um, London-related books, and Kensington is a part of London, although it's also part of there's also a lot of towns I found named Kensington in different places, but that's unrelated today. Um, so I'm doing my August 2022 TBR. August is one of the hotter months in the year, which is okay, except for the fact that we rely so much on AC here that you might actually hear some of the AC on today, possibly. But it was weird because last month, of course, was a big themed month. Jane Austen July. Kind of easy to plan. I say easy, but of course I always get overly ambitious and pick a million things. But I mean, it was easy just to plan. Okay, these kind of books would go with these prompts, etc. That's fantastic, and I'm always in the mood for Jane Austen related stuff. So especially this time of year, but any time of year really. So it was just very conducive. August is a little different for me. I didn't latch on to any like special month activities. I have some group or buddy reads I might be participating in. I'm not even probably going to mention some of the books I might be joining in on in August, so because they're tentative for me. Um, but so it's a little bit hard to narrow down. So I just took a few books that I hope to at least start, or at least some of them, and I'm not going to show them, but they're probably going to be, possibly going to be, a few more Jane Austen related books in August. Only because I didn't get to finish a lot of the books I took out of the library. And other books too, but especially the ones I checked out of the library. Silly me, at the end of June, I think it was, after I'd already done my TBR, I suddenly checked out a bunch of books related to Jane Austen and from the library, and I only got to like maybe one or two of them, and I still want to read them, so we'll see what happens with those, but no pressure on me whatsoever, right? But here's some books that I have that I hope to read. Two of which I will show you that don't have their pretty covers because I already started them. And once I start the hardcovers with the dust jackets, I don't like them flopping about, so I just remove them. So they are undressed, but that's okay because it's August. So I'll show them to you first. And one of them is very apropos to this weather. One Hot Summer, which is Dickens, Darwin, Disraeli, and the Great Stink of 1858 from Yale Publishers, I guess. Which I started, and so far I like it. It takes place, sorry, I had something in my glasses. It takes place obviously in London in 1858. There were some issues going on with the Thames and sewage and that sort of thing, and they did have an engineer and other people get involved in pumping that out eventually, and that was very important, but it took a while. And during 18 sure I know the year, 1858, it was especially not great. And so it also covers Dickens, which I thought would be nice because even though October is a couple months away, it can never be too early to start preparing for October. So it doesn't hurt for me to read about Victorian times. More on that later. So that's one. And I do really, really want to do more nonfiction reading, not just in August, but just in general. I keep reading more novels. I have no problem with reading novels, but still. This is a book that I actually thought I was going to wait until September because it's Tudor related. So I thought, usually nowadays I've been noticing a lovely reading activity called Tudortember, which is quite good. But I started already, actually I started in June, I think, and I would like to keep continuing. It's also Sisters to the King. So this is about King Henry VIII, our favorite Tudor. I say sarcastically. He had two sisters. Why am I forgetting her name? Margaret. I was going to say Martha. Margaret was his older sister, who actually the current line is descended from now, I think, pretty much. And his younger sister was Mary. I think he was closer to Mary than he was to Margaret, but they were both important to his life and to Tudor history. So look at that picture of Henry VIII at the bottom. He's just such a terrible person, but so interesting to read about. So I probably want to continue on these books. I only just started both of them, so I thought that would be good to put in a TBR. I have a few books in my possession that are not library books, and this is one. Okay, I don't know when we're supposed to finish this book, but I will get started on it anyway. My sister and I, excuse me, I am not allergic to talking about my sister. No, my sister and I were very ambitious starting in, I think, June, in trying to read a Dickens together that we both hadn't read. That was kind of the important thing, that we both hadn't read it. And there were only one or two, and the one we chose was Martin Chuzzlewit. I made it, I think, 100 pages in. I did not hate it, but I wasn't looking forward to reading it, and neither was my sister. And my sister, I think, enjoys Dickens more than I do. And so if she was having trouble getting into it, it seemed to be maybe not a good idea. Maybe we will get back to it another year or not. So we said, okay, let's pick something else that one of the requirements or hopes were that it was a book that we both owned and by an author that we both like. And that is, hopefully, I mean, we were hoping for something Victorian, but it didn't have to be. But we both owned the same book, actually a couple of the same books by Anthony Trollope. And this is the one that we settled on, The Three Clerks. Probably The Three Clarks, right? Is that how they pronounce it in England? So I don't know anything about it. I know it's not that I know of related to the Barsetshire novels or the Palliser novels. So it might be a standalone. Every once in a while he'll sneak in something. So I will let you know if I get any further into it. I don't know nothing about it yet. I'm looking forward to reading it though, and it's a nice size. It's not too big, not too small. I might even take it with me on vacation. We'll see. And then I said London, so this is just one of the London related books that I am going to look into. I don't know if I'm going to read it from start to finish or just delve into it a little bit, but this is, I've had this for a little while. I got this at Book Off for $1. So it's a bit older. Let me see when this, didn't even check before this. 1988 by Andrew Davies. I don't know if he's that. Let's have a quick look. No, anyway, I don't think he's that. But anyway, I'm doing a tangent here, but it's London related. It's Literary London, and it's a reader's walking tour by Andrew Davies. So I thought that would be kind of fun. I am really hoping to get to London this year. I have plans that are very solid, but the way flights have been lately, I do not want to continually say I'm definitely going, because they've been canceling things here and there, and yeah. But in the meantime, not that I want to get my hopes up, but I also want to read about it, so I thought this would be an appropriate one for me. And I am getting back into my Preraphaelite project, and I don't know why I left it for so long. I have read books over time that are related to Preraphaelite art and people. That's just part of my interests tend to lead to the Preraphaelites. Really hard for me to say that, even though I like it. No matter what. So I thought, let me keep reading it. Another kind of a prep for Victober, I think, a nonfiction prep. Because this is something I would love to talk about in October and, well, any other time. So this is a book that I have called Reading the Preraphaelites by Tim Barringer. So lovely picture right here, pretty well-known Preraphaelite picture. And this is also a Yale book. I seem to be drawn to Yale today. Okay, I wasn't sure the name of this painting, but this is The Beguiling of Merlin by Edward Burne-Jones. Again, doesn't look very pleasant, but either way, it's, because I have a bunch of Preraphaelite books. Why can I not say that word? But a lot of them are pretty big, and so they were turning out to be commitments. This one is totable. That puts it firmly in favor for me right now. But there are other ones. There's one back of me over here. I don't think you can see it. There's other. It's further down here, so you can't see it. That's a book that I really want to read related to them. So maybe if I'll get to that, that'll be nice, but I'm not going to make any plans. permanent plan. So I have a bunch of library books out, and these are some of them that I hope to get to. And this one is related to a group read that I am a part of, and I hope to make progress. I hope to finish it this month. And this is Emile Zola, The Lady's Paradise. There it is. It's an Oxford classic. Oxford World's classic. Okay. It is an Oxford World Classics. I said it? Did I say it? Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I don't think anyone's going to test me on exactly how it's said, but still, it's like the British Library Crime Classic. Some things you just want to be able to say. And this is translated from the French by Brian Nelson. It's easy. That's easy for Catherine to say. I'm pretty sure from what I gathered, there was a television show that I watched a number of years ago. I think I watched it around 2013, because I remember this time period where I was watching things because I had time off, but they were staycation, well before pre-pandemic times, when I just had time off that I couldn't travel on. And it was cold out, so I didn't go out that much. So I spent time at home just binge watching television. And I'm pretty sure there was a show called The Paradise that was, even though I think it took place in England, I think it was based on this novel. So that is exciting to me, because I kind of wanted to watch that show again. I don't think I finished watching it, but it might be nice to read the source material first. And this is a mystery novel by the wonderful Josephine Tey, who I've been wanting to read again. And this is a library book, so I do not have this in my collection. This is The Franchise Affair. I really hope I can read this. We'll let you know if I get to it. I do want to continue reading mysteries every month when I can. It's not a massive month for me for mysteries, but I like to read at least a couple every month. I managed to read at least one the past couple months, so it's pretty good. But I'd like to really get back into it. It just stays with my personal ways that I can't seem to get too much reading done with mysteries in the summer months. It just happens for me. I don't know why. But anyway, here's two more library books that I have that I would like to read. This one I saw, I think Miranda. If you've ever watched Miranda's, I don't remember if it's her YouTube channel or her Instagram that's called Miranda's Bookcase. There might be another name. But anyway, she does really great videos, but she also does really nice Instagram posts. And I saw a copy of this book and I thought, oh, it's London. It's summer in London. Another summer in London, a hot summer in London. So I thought, okay, let me see. I was going to buy it, but I said, let me see if I can get it from the library, because, I may not even like it that much. I might get tired of reading about the heat. So, but I'll at least try it. I will at least sample it. And this is A Sultry Month, Scenes of London Literary Life in 1846 by Althea. I don't know how to say that name. Hate her. But I don't hate her. Anyway, so I thought Mrs. Browning seems to be featured here a lot. So I do want to read more about Elizabeth Barrett Browning, or as she was, Elizabeth Barrett. So I love reading about London. I love reading about Victorian London. I love reading about literary London. Right? And last but also not least, this is a writer that I have read a couple of books about, and in a discussion related to Jane Austen July, someone mentioned another book that this writer had written, Charlie Lovett, about related to Pride and Prejudice, and it was an okay book, but it wasn't like his best book to us in our agreement. But this book was mentioned, The Lost Book of the Grail, and it's about, I guess, The Lost Book of the Grail. It's about a couple of people who are, librarians or in libraries and trying to figure out how to find this book. That's all I know about it, really. The only reason that I jumped at taking it out of the library is because it's supposed to take place in Barchester, which is the fictional town. Sometimes I said Barchester. I don't know why there's so many names that I can't figure out which is which. Me and geography, fictional geography. Come on. Actually, I'm pretty good at geography itself. Fictional geography takes a bit of effort. Anyway, I'm rambling again, but I thought that would be cool. I like when people have a little nod to something related to books that I like. I, of course, am still working through Anthony Trollope's The Last Chronicle of Barset. See, Barsetshire, Barchester, Barset. Goodness sakes. I hit a snag when I was reading it in June because they introduced a couple of characters that I'm not very fond of reading about. So I just kind of got tired of it and left off. I think if I get past a couple of chapters there, I'm going to get back and hit the ground running, and which will mean I'm reading 2 Trollopes at once. I don't see a problem with that. I love Trollope. I think I can keep them straight, the stories. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. There are so many other books that I would really love to read in August, but I'm going to leave it there as I do wrap-ups or possibly Friday reads. I don't know what I'm going to have a chance to do this month. I hope to update you on books that I actually finished, some of which are books that I mentioned here. There is a book, because I'm doing this early in August, there is a book I've already finished that I was going to show you here, but I finished it. So you'll see that later, hopefully. Hope you can tune into that. So that is all for my TBR. Let me know if you have any great plans for August or mild plans for August. Let me know which of these books, if you've read them, that you would recommend to me. If you like to talk about these type of books, books related to London, books related to books, books related to, I don't know, summer? Tutors? Preraphaelites? But I can't even say the word. If you like to talk about tea, all of these subjects, please subscribe if you haven't already. And that is all for now. This is Catherine with her teacup. Taking Tea with Catherine. Have a lovely tea and book-filled day and month.